Oh, man.
Welcome to the Is for Fun podcast, a podcast that is for fun. I am your host, Tommy.
I'm Sam.
And we have a special episode for you today.
Wait, Tommy. Tell me what's so special about it.
Well, if you watch the video podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You would notice a big plate of what we like to call homemade sliders.
We don't... I mean, this is what they are.
Yeah, but we like to call them that.
Hey, when you're right,
Samuel?
Right.
Anywho, we got some homemade sliders because this is a special episode. We've been building up to this one for, dare I say, a millennia. Dare I say, and I'll say it again, a fucking millennium.
If you've been watching the Is for Fun podcast for a long time, you know me and Tim like to talk about superheroes. Fabio does too. But me and Tommy get real hard for it.
Real hard. Like we each jerked one out beforehand so we wouldn't get hard talking about this.
Literally had to.
To cut to the chase, we gotta talk, Sam. It's been what? A month? A month and a half?
Just about.
About a month since the Snyder Cut came out.
Wait, Tommy, isn't it called the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, but this is the Zack Slider.
You could not have fucked that
I
up.
can't, dude.
We're eating sliders and talking about the Snyder Cut.
Boom!
The Zack Slider Cut.
Dude, I am hungry.
Me too. Dude, I haven't eaten all day.
You want to just toast one out before we actually get rolling about this?
You got to take the top one, dude. This is your host.
Did you make this one especially for me? I gotta get a napkin.
No.
I gotta get a napkin. And we might as well call this a nosh. It's a nosh, but we're actually eating good food. Because
Mini nosh on the podcast.
Mini nosh. We made sliders because it's a Slider Cut.
Do we want to toast?
Slider Cut!
Slider Cut!
Boom, boom. What do we want to toast for?
Zack Snyder making a reasonably better Justice League movie. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. This is a good idea.
Oh, great idea. Holy shit. And we hang on. Before we start breaking down Zack Snyder's Justice League, we'll explain that later if anyone doesn't get it. And why it's such a big deal and why you should care. I went and shopped for slider ingredients today. And, one, they don't sell slider buns at the fucking store. They just don't sell them. You can't buy a small hamburger bun.
And this is like a superstore. It's not like a local grocery store.
This is a more local grocery market, but no, it's a chain.
It's
a local
basically a
chain.
Safeway.
But it's a Safeway. And they don't sell them there. Not at all. Not even like the special bakery section. It's just like little fucking bun. Anywho, that disappointment turned into a fucking awesome reality because I got potato buns.
Potato buns are doing it for me, dude. They're really
fucking awesome, dude.
They're really hitting different.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Nice. Okay.
Anywho, second thing about the sliders, though. I had heard, probably from some cooking channel on YouTube, but that you gotta put American cheese on a burger. I'm sorry. You could put other cheeses on it, and it's fine. It's good. But American cheese hits different.
When a man's right, he fucking right.
American cheese is fucking different. And anywho, so we're going to drop some brand names. No product placement or anything here.
Oh, yeah.
No actual sponsors. But I'd heard you don't buy the Kraft American singles. Which sounds like, I was like, fucking sacrilege. That is American cheese.
That is the American cheese.
But I heard you buy what we have is Boar's Head. But you buy like that next tier up American cheese. And that's what I bought. So I have to ask, what do you think of the higher end American cheese?
It's so like Kraft singles. They're like neon. They're like traffic cone orange, basically. Mm-hmm. They're a little like milkier. They're like Kraft mac and cheese orange. Which I mean, it's all Kraft, so that was a fucking stupid thing to say. But like,
there's orange is a goddamn highlighter.
This fucking American cheese that you got, it's like white. It's like mozzarella colored.
Yeah,
which really like messed with me when I first saw it because I didn't think it was American cheese, but it is. It tastes like American cheese. It smells like American cheese. It's good, man.
Oh, it's pretty good.
American cheese, like, here's the thing. I love me some American cheese. It's kind of like the most artificial tasting of the cheeses, though. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. Does it taste different to you? I like that it's like a step
I got
up.
a bite of just cheese. Honestly, it doesn't taste as fake, which both excites me and disappoints me at the same time.
Well, I just got to grab another slider just to be sure.
Oh yeah, you gotta. No, actually, we have this whole plate, but you can only have one.
I would fucking murder you where you sit.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It lacks a little bit of that charm.
There's something about like the nuclear grade, like American craft singles that's like classic.
Yeah. It tastes a little plainer too. Not gonna lie.
It's all right. It's like a mild.
all right.
It's like a mild American cheese.
I wouldn't not get it again, but
Craft singles.
craft singles though. I need to check.
Okay, Tim. We got to get down to the nitty gritty here.
We
came here with a mission.
So let's talk because let's explain it for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah, please.
Zack Snyder is a director. He directed movies like 300 and some other ones, Sucker Punch,
Watchmen.
Anywho, he's done some movies. He was in the middle of directing a superhero movie called The Justice League. You may have heard of it. Starts making this movie, films. I'm gonna do a short summary. He films about 90% of it, outside of reshoots and maybe some of like the scene. He basically shoots the whole movie, and during the filming of the movie, / probably getting to post-production shit. His daughter.
I think it's his daughter.
His daughter or son, TBD,
I'm pretty sure it's his
committed
daughter, dude.
suicide and died. And both him and his wife is a producer, by the way. And they both left the film early. They leave this film early. Studio all of a sudden is in charge. This is Warner Brothers. Studio says they're not pleased with how the movie is. Brings on Joss Whedon, who directed both Avengers 1 and Avengers 2, to finish the movie. Joss Whedon comes in, reshoots a bunch of stuff, a bunch of shit, a bunch of scenes, and then they edit this movie down and release it. Movie comes out. What do you think of the movie, Sam? It's garbage. That's what Sam thinks of it.
Here's the thing. The first time I saw it in theaters with a big group of people.
It's okay. Get the slider down.
Spoiler alert for Justice League. They put my boy Deathstroke in a movie. So I was on cloud 9 after the end credit scene.
Oh, they put him in a scene. Let's talk about the movie, dude.
But okay, here's the thing. Compared to a lot of other superhero movies that I'd seen, Justice League was not the most offensive thing I'd seen ever. So I left that movie feeling pretty good. I was like, this is fine.
That's really
Then
nice.
I watched it a second time. And then the second time I was like, this is noticeably worse than what I remember. This is like a lot worse than I remember. And then Tommy, I watched it a third time. The third time, I watched it right before the Snyder Cut came out because I was getting myself prepared. I wanted to be able to compare the two. I wanted it fresh in my memory. And oh boy, that movie's shit.
It's bad.
That
dude.
movie's really bad.
I remember I had seen it 2 times before, and I kind of had similar feelings. I thought it was it's kind of poopy, but I'll watch it. It's kind of cool to see the characters and moving around as real people and shit. Saw it a second time. I was like, it's kind of garbage, but it is what it is. It's what we got. That's all we're ever gonna get. Saw it a third time. I showed Fabio, and we were drinking during it. So we're going heavy buzzed, drunk state, and I'm just sitting here it's not that bad. Fabio, you gotta look at me, brother. This is not a good movie. And he's just that's what I've been thinking the whole goddamn time. And I was I was blind, but now I see the shit that is in front of me.
Dude, it's wild. Watching that movie, you see how Frankensteined together it is. I was watching it, I was literally you could tell scene by scene what's Whedon and what's Snyder. Which I don't like the way that sentence sounds, but you literally watch it and you know the shit that was added in afterwards. And it's more obvious after watching the Snyder Cut.
It's much more obvious.
Super obvious.
Well, I mean, so So next to our story, after Justice League released, it was garbage. And then somebody online had like kind of said, yeah, Justice League was garbage, but Zack Snyder's cut, Zack Snyder's the director, we already said that, Zack Snyder's cut is way, way better. And the internet was just like, all these fanboys, diehard fans were just like, excuse you? There's a full cut of this movie that wasn't the garbage that we had already seen? What the fuck is that? And I don't remember, there's probably some story you could backtrack and track it all down, but it started building a momentum on the internet. People were like, oh, there's an actual cut of this movie. We want to see it. Like, why not see it? Even if it's unfinished, let's at least see what the director had originally visioned, because it wasn't a studio-produced piece of garbage that we got. So this goes on, what, for like 2 years?
Long time.
2 years? When was it?
Well, Justice League was 2017. And I think the announcement of Zack Snyder's Justice League was like 2020. Yeah. No, it had to be earlier than that. No. 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. So this goes on for 2 to 3 years. People campaign, people write petitions, sign petitions, and it goes on for a long time. And then all of a sudden, the actors of the movie were like, "Yeah, we'd be down to see the Snyder Cut." And I think Jason Momoa
and
came
Ray
out
Fisher
and was like,
were
"I
both
saw it. I saw the cut. It's fucking rad and awesome. You guys have to see it." Which only stokes the flame, no, I said that right. Stokes the flame of the fans. And pretty soon that happens. Nothing. And then Zack Snyder's like, "Hey, we're doing it." Because, he's like, "Hey, we're doing it." They got signed by HBO instead of Warner Brothers.
No. HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers gave them the go-ahead.
Well, anywho, Warner Brothers gives HBO the go-ahead. HBO gives Zack Snyder $2 million and was like,
it had to be more than that.
Several $1 million and says, finish the movie. You can't really add any extra scenes. He added a few extra scenes at the end. We'll get to that later, probably. But you just have enough money to redo this, like do the CGI and finish the movie. And he did. And it came out this last March. And we watched it.
We sure did.
We sure fucking did.
So before we are you
We're full of spoilers, by the way. If you haven't seen it yet, it's been like a month and a half.
It's like a worldwide phenomena. Well, it's not, but a lot of people are talking about it. So if you don't, honestly, if you've seen Justice League, you pretty much know what happens in the Snyder Cut, because it's broad strokes the same movie.
Good guys beat the bad guy.
Yeah. Steppenwolf looks. He's looking for the Allspark, and he gets all three of them, and then Superman's like, no. So are you done with the intro bit? Can we start talking about this?
Yeah, no, intro bit. If you didn't get that, you look it up online. I'm done.
Cool.
I'm holding your stupid hand.
Stupid third grader hand. What do you think? What's your broad strokes opinion?
Should we start with broad strokes?
Let's give a general overview. What do you think of the Snyder Cut? Well, hold on. What do you think of the Snyder Cut comparatively to the original Justice League cut?
Amazing.
Okay.
Comparatively amazing. As a movie, I have qualms.
What does that mean? I don't think you're using the word right.
I have...
Is qualms a word? Qualms is a word.
Qualms? Is that a pronounce?
Qualm is a word.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced.
I don't think you're...
I have qualms with this movie. I have small problems with it, but frankly, for him being able to freely release what he released, it's kind of freaking awesome in ways.
It's pretty cool.
It is also way too goddamn long. Certain scenes just need to be shortened or cut down. Nobody was in the room with Zack Snyder saying you should like that, trailing 10 seconds, just snip it. You don't need it. You don't need that. And that's kind of what I think is awesome about it, is because it's truly a director filmed a bunch of scenes and throw them together, and then you get the studio and the people shaving it down. There's no shaving. So it's a true raw, there is not footage that he left out of that movie.
No.
He included everything.
Well, Green Lantern, but...
So, we'll get into that. So, for that, Knowing that, it is really good. As a sit down and watch it as a movie, it loses it because I think there's some rough edges that need to be shaved. And not that they're rough, just like there's just like, why is the scene going? Like, why is Batman looking at Wonder Woman for like that extra 5 seconds? Like, just shave it. I think an editor could go in and probably like clean up that movie a lot. But Grandiose, yeah, I liked it. I don't think it's the best superhero movie out there in the world. But holy, comparatively to what we got, amazing. Okay. And what did you think?
Mostly I agree with you for sure. I might go a little bit harsher on this. I feel like nice. Get that bad boy. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to watch Tom stick a fucking slider in his mouth.
You do,
because it looks awesome. I like watching it. But so comparatively to the original Justice League, it's far and away like better.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot watch those two movies side by side and say that Whedon's version is a better movie.
I will never watch the Whedon version again.
I don't think I ever will either.
There's no point.
But I also won't watch Zack Snyder's version because it's so goddamn long.
You would?
Here's the thing. The Snyder Cut is a better movie. But, and here's like my broad strokes thought on the Snyder Cut. The reason why it's a better movie is the same reason why it kind of shouldn't exist to begin with. The reason why the Snyder Cut is a better movie is because it gives like characters more time to develop. It gives characters arcs.
Yeah.
It has more of like an overall like feel to it. That was a stupid sentence. It feels more like a cohesive story, but it's also 4 fucking hours long. Movie theaters aren't going to let you release a 4-hour movie. That movie... They should. I agree. Like, longer movies, I'm all for it. But that movie is a lot of necessary fluff. But movies like that don't really exist. So this movie, based on what everyone will tell you, really shouldn't exist. But that's kind of what makes it great. Because it gives, like... It's kind of like a miniseries. It gives characters time to develop. Like, Cyborg has a whole arc in this movie. Holy shit. Cyborg was like one of my favorite parts of the original cut. Cyborg's fucking awesome in the Snyder Cut. He's great.
We'll go. We should go into that.
We'll go into detail. Yeah. I have a few talking points here, but
okay, nice.
Like, but also like, here's the thing. It's like a full, complete story, and it's great to see like the director's whole vision. There's still so much bullshit in that movie. Like, again, full spoilers. Martian Manhunter didn't need to be a part of it. That fucking stupid nightmare sequence at the end. You know, everybody's most confused part about Batman v Superman. Did not need to be in there. Like, there's ways to tease sequels without confusing the shit out of people. We got to talk about that later. But, like, despite having so much more content that kind of like lifted it up and made it like much more cohesive and like you sympathize with the characters more, there's also like too much at the same time. And for me, that was like to its detriment. Like, also the fucking slow-mo. God almighty. Like 20 minutes of that movie is just slow-mo scenes. It's like 1/10 of the movie or something. Someone that's probably wrong, but like someone calculated that like a stupid amount of that movie is slow-mo. And that, like, there's the stupid part. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. Most of the slow-mo scenes are for the Flash. You know, the fast one.
Well, that's the character you put in slow motion, though. Because he's normal speed.
You don't need to make him like
in
slow-mo. Just make him like a little slow. Like, you make it so you can watch what the dude's doing. Don't make it so him stroking Iris's hair, which is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, we'll talk about
like
the scene.
35 minutes. Don't do that. Anyways, like, again, I got off on like 3 tangents there.
No, yeah.
Good movie, full of too much fluff, which acts to its benefit and its detriment.
Yeah.
That's my broad strokes.
No, but how do you feel about it?
I liked it.
Yeah, so did I.
Also, I'm a DC goober nerd, so I love seeing Darkseid in live action. That shit's cool.
Yeah. So, go ahead. I'm host, but you.
Okay, yeah, I got a bunch of talking points. I want to start off. I feel like I kind of said like all I could about the slow-mo. But there's too much goddamn slow-mo.
Should we talk about the slow-mo? Let's just start off with the slow-mo. There is 20 minutes of slow motion in this 4.5-hour movie.
I think it's over 4 hours, but I don't think it's quite 4.5.
It's like 4:12.
I think it's closer to 4. I think it's like 4 hours and like 2 minutes or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's 4 hours. Which, well, let's talk about the runtime. 4 hours. Too long. I think it could have been 3:20, 3:45, maybe.
No, I think that movie could have easily been a 3-hour movie.
You think? They could have shaved a whole hour off extra shit?
That nightmare sequence alone was like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like bonus, though.
But I don't know. Maybe 3.5. Maybe I'm being too much.
And I bet, like, long movies, I've been going through the Lord of the Rings extended editions because they're also on HBO Go right now. Like, well, okay, like, shit, now I'm going to go on a tangent. Well, we're going on a tangent. Here we are. We already started.
Do it.
A 4-hour movie that doesn't feel like a 4-hour movie. Lord of the Rings extended editions. I will say they do a much better job of pacing. I think that's just, well, I think this is almost just, there's moments that almost feel like their own like little short story moments. And there's so many characters that they can split off and do that it's like, I don't know how to like compare it. It's almost like watching like there's such a slow burn to a big moment, but the slow burn has so many like niche pieces that none of it is paced slow or feels boring because it's all just more. It's just a lot.
It's all more goodies.
Yeah, it's all more goodies. There's not like scenes like, why am I watching this scene? Like, you could have cut this scene and I could have been on looking at cooler shit. It's just all cool shit the whole time.
The Snyder Cut, however...
The Snyder Cut drains, but again, he didn't cut anything. So it's like, it's no fault and it's all bonus. So I can't like hate it for that.
But like you said though, a
You
4-hour
watch it
movie
for-
a 4-hour movie that doesn't feel like a 4-hour movie is a good movie. This movie felt so long.
Yeah.
Like I was 2 hours in and I thought I was gonna go fucking crazy.
And I'm cool with it feeling long. Like, you watch Lord of the Rings extended. I mean, I've been breaking them up in evenings, watching like hour and a half, 2 hours at a chunk. So it's a little less. But those like feel long. I think it's bad when it feels long and you're looking at the clock.
I was kind of
If
doing
it feels
that a little
long,
bit.
but you're like, oh, but it's cool, I want to keep going, feels long. That's okay. If it feels long and you're looking at the clock, that's a problem. And I do look at the clock a few times in the Snyder Cut movie.
Yeah. But like going back to the slow-mo scenes. Like those
Oh yeah.
easily could have been sped up a little bit or cut out altogether or just made normal speed and they would have had the same impact and it would have just shortened the movie's length by a lot. I remember watching like the 8th slow-mo scene and I was just like, it was like early in the movie. It's when Wonder Woman is saving the museum from the terrorist
Yeah,
group.
she gets a lot of
with
slow
Bruce Bolton.
moments.
Why is that scene so slow? That's an intro scene for Wonder Woman, who you've already seen a movie of. Like, she doesn't need a lot of slow-mo shots.
Well, it's supposed to be awesome. And it is awesome.
It is awesome, but it's
there's
also awesome
like,
in real time.
But it's also like, she's standing there and then it turns slow-mo. And then the guy's standing with the gun, and then it goes back to her, and then it goes back to the guy with the gun. And then, and then he looks at his watch, and you're like, I should look at my watch as well. And it goes back to her, and it's just this back and forth, and you're like, and then do it fast. And then get it going. And it just doesn't do it.
That scene would have had this... A lot of the slow-mo scenes would have had like the same impact if they were done real time.
Yeah.
But the scene that did need to stay slow-mo is when like Flash is like trying to run behind Superman and Superman like slowly turns at him because that scene's fucking cool.
But those like scenes are worth it. Or when he pokes the sword back at her. It's a cool scene.
It's a cool scene. I don't know. The slow-mo has its place, but Zack Snyder just... He's the guy that like gets a steak and just like dumps barbecue sauce on it. But the barbecue sauce is slow-mo and the steak is my delicious Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Right. This is kind of like a
Too
short...
much slow-mo.
Too much slow-mo.
Too much slow-mo.
Too much slow-mo. This talking point list that I've developed is kind of in like no particular order. It's gonna feel like
You can order it real
it's not gonna make me.
fine.
Well, no.
We'll
Like
wait.
order. It's just gonna be like different
No.
stuff.
We'll wait.
It's just gonna be different stuff that like either noticed, had problems with, thought I was cool, or like miss it.
Okay.
It's just like a bunch of different stuff. But that creepy ass Flash
Should we
perv
talk about
scene.
the Flash scene?
I don't like that scene.
I think that scene sucks balls.
It does.
So,
I don't like the Flash juggling wieners around.
yeah.
While also
So they
in
have
the same 5 minutes he was like creeping on his.
Yeah.
I'm getting too into the wieners, but
they have a scene, and it's a woman, and her and Flash are like checking each other out. If you're a fan of the comics, the woman is who ends up being Flash's wife,
Iris West,
eventually. And so they're checking each other out, and you're like, that's fine, whatever. Flash checking out a woman, and then all of a sudden she gets in a car wreck, and the car is like flipping. And then she's like falling out of the car, and she's about to just get absolutely obliterated. It's a convertible, so she's falling out of the car. And so then it shows Flash in like normal clothes, and he like runs out, and he's like gonna save her. But while he's like this is all in slow mo. This goes on for like 10 minutes. It's disgustingly long.
It's really long.
He runs out, and he's like strokes her hair and her cheek.
Yeah,
and then like. For like reasons you'll have to watch the movie, but there's also like a hot dog stand blowing up, and he like grabs a wiener like while stroking her hair, and people are like,
that's weird.
Kind of weird, maybe sexual, maybe not. We don't know.
Here's the thing: if you're a superhero, you're like trying to save people. He's trying to save her, which is the nice guy thing to do. I feel like he's only trying to save her to smash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, if you're a superhero, you don't like pause time to like non-consensually like stroke a lady's face, and then you're like, okay, now I'll save you. It's just fucked. It's just bad.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a Superman was just like. He's like saving a woman, and then he uses X-ray vision and catches like a bra shot, and he's like, oh shit, it's, you know?
You're right. It's basically, it's the same, but different. It's the same.
This is kind of, it's weird. Okay, hang on. It's less weird if you know that she's gonna be his wife. Little bit.
Well,
little bit.
Here's the other. Go ahead, sorry.
But it's not explained that way in the movie at all.
No, she's just
so
literally
as far
a cameo.
as it's just random woman that he saves, and he's like, while mid saving her, he's like, oh, like, hello, hell yeah, and then I save you, grab a wiener.
You're sitting a pile of dogs.
Sounds so weird out of context.
That scene has made. Here's the thing. That scene is made way worse. Because you get like a glimpse of who Barry Allen is as a person later. He literally has like a conversation with Bruce Wayne where he's like, I haven't like figured people out because they're too slow for me. And it's like, maybe you haven't figured people out because you're a fucking creep, dude. It's fine. It's like...
It's artsy.
It's artsy.
I think it's supposed to come off artsy, but when you like...
It's creepy, though.
Yeah, but like Shakespeare was artsy, and there's a lot of
Shakespeare didn't have flying wieners.
Yeah, you know. I don't know.
Anyways.
It's just one of those things. It's supposed to cinnamon. It's supposed to cinnamon look like cinematographically.
Yes.
Look nice.
Yes.
He's saving this woman. They purposely put her in a bright red, like, convertible old car from the 50s, 60s,
That scene is so Zack Snyder, though.
Yeah, it's very Zack Snyder. It's very stylistic. But if you, like, take a step back and you like, you jump out of the style, which is easy because the scene goes on way too long, then you're like, ooh, yikes.
It's a yikes moment.
Yeah, but... it was nice to see backstory of a character that is introduced first time in this movie.
Yes.
And I think... hard set... Oh, you want to go ahead?
I was just going to say, it's going to be cool to see those two play off each other in the Flash movie, because they're Ezra Miller and Kiersey Clemons are both coming back in those respective roles. So it'll make more sense, not any less creepy, but, you know, they'll get their reprise moment, I guess.
Yeah. Nice. Talk about characters that got more screen time. Can we fucking segue into fucking Cyborg?
You want to segue into Segborg?
In the original cut, the theatrical cut, was a fucking non-existent nothing character that had a little bit of backstory, but really, I'm a product of mad science, the character. And he's created with one of... So, story of the movie, villain needs 3 magical boxes and fuse them together to take over Earth. Cyborg is a product of using one of those boxes, which is made with a bunch of energy, to create man and robot body. But as far as we knew, he had an accident and became man and robot body from a box. And this is shown in like 2 minutes worth of not even an accident. It was just him being created, was thrown in, just pretty much thrown in the movie, the original cut. The fucking Zack Snyder giving fucking that Ray Fisher, the actor, some actual proper screen time and some actual character development and story building. Holy shit. He was almost the lead character in that movie.
But that football scene was too goddamn long, though.
Yeah, also slow motion.
But also, yeah, Cyborg ass in this movie.
He was good. He was awesome. I'm a huge fan of Cyborg. I love Teen Titans and shit.
The fact that his dad died sucked, but also, like, gave him a good, like, character moment.
Oh, yeah, spoiler. We're talking about spoilers.
His dad's alive at the end of the Whedon cut.
His dad was also a character. His dad was a pinnacle piece of, like, it was all good. Everything Cyborg, everything his dad in that whole movie, all fucking really good, really essential for the fucking movie. Really bummed that they actually took that all out of the theatrical cut.
After seeing that,
he's an important real character.
Again, like he's kind of the lead.
Yeah,
he's the one you sympathize with the most,
and he
for
needs
sure.
To be, because he's literally a product of the thing that the villain needs. Like, that's huge. That's such an easy, like, from a like structural story building standpoint, that's such an easy thing to shoehorn and carry the movie off, like that person's story.
Yeah, Cyborg was great in that movie.
Yeah,
he got just like classic, good, full, complete character arc.
Yeah, and like
he felt like a hero by the end too.
Yeah, he has a full circle, a full arc.
Yeah, like in the beginning of the movie, he's just like, let me talk.
In the theatrical cut, he's angsty robot boy.
Mm.
And in this, he had like a story where he was a person, has his struggles, gets a product of an accident, has struggles perpetuated because of that accident with him and his dad. Kind of joins this Justice League, not really wanting to. Kind of felt like his bringing him into the ropes wasn't really that strong, but that's okay. He gets into the Justice League, actually kind of like develops a little story, has some back and forth with his father as he's trying to be a good guy. Father dies, he has to like grapple with that, but then still fight with the good guys at the end. It's all really good. Really good. He has some heart. I loved stock market manipulation Cyborg scene.
I got mixed feelings about that.
I liked it.
It was like too long, but I did like that they kind of showed his like tech powers though.
Yeah, he just hacks. He just walk into the internet and do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
I like the visualization of it too.
Yeah,
it was a little like dream sequency, but that's kind of cool though.
I like that though.
Yeah, no, yeah, it fits with like Cyborg as a character.
That makes powers that you could explain in a throwaway line actually cool to me.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that, like, just now. I wasn't like up all night thinking about it. But it's cool to see that power. If you had Cyborg and he said, "Oh, I can go into the internet and manipulate the stock market," you'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, it's on the screen and you see the numbers go up, and you're like, "That's cool." And then if you think about it later, you're like, "Actually, that's really cool." But when you see it visualized in like a masterpiece, it hits really nicely.
Yeah,
and I like that. I'm cool. I'll take those 5 minutes of probably wasted time, really, to just get that visualized.
I agree. The worst thing, pretty much like the only thing they got rid of from Cyborg in this movie was his redesign at the end of the Whedon cut. Because here's the thing. Cyborg is great in that movie. He looks so bad.
I do not like his design.
Cyborg's design is trash in that movie.
Yeah, I already saw Megatron in the Transformers movie.
Exactly. But speaking of that, that's kind of one of the talking points I wanted to cover is there anything from the Whedon cut that you miss in the Snyder cut? Because I have a couple things. One of them is Cyborg's moment at the end where he kind of like is being friendly with his dad and he gets like the classic like armored Cyborg suit and he gets the logo, which is it's like a stupid like throwaway scene, but like, you know, comic book boy in me really liked it.
Yeah, and that's mostly just because I don't like his design in the movie.
Yeah,
doing it that way felt like the suit in the movie was like an origin story suit, and that he would shape and change his appearance later. But they could also just do a Cyborg movie and do that anyway.
They could have also just made him look good from the start.
I wish they changed his design because I actually think all of them look pretty cool. Flash is a little much, but his is also origin story suit. Really excited to see what they do with his solo movie and the costume. And Aquaman's actually, I'm fine with the cool armor.
I hate Aquaman's costume. It just looks like he's wearing like rubber.
Yeah,
they're all made of rubber, but like especially Aquaman's, it just looks like rubber.
I mean, I don't love Batman's suit either. The
That's fine.
texture on it is anywho.
That's all right. One of the best parts about the Whedon cut is actually one of my favorite parts about both versions, which is the conversation that Alfred and Batman have about Superman. Because in the Snyder Cut, the one thing I thought they could focus more time on is them making the decision to revive Superman. Because it's literally just like Ezra Miller, and he's like, we're all thinking the same thing, right? Like, and then they're just on a quest to revive Superman. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? You had 4 hours in this movie, and that just like came out of nowhere.
I'm glad you reminded me, because I actually think Joss Whedon's movie did that scene better. There was more back and forth with it.
Well, it made more sense for why Bruce was on board for it, because that conversation is great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a scene in the Whedon cut where they have that like weird samurai armor back like spa room that the Batcave has for no reason, which is definitely made just for the reshoots because that was nowhere in the Snyder cut. But there's a scene where Alfred and Batman are like chatting in there, and Batman's like stripping all his gear off, and Alfred's like, "Oh, this fucking team's never gonna work. Like, what the hell's going on?"
Is that Wonder Woman?
That was another scene. But Alfred's like, why do you think like this team can't work without Superman? He's like, oh, because Superman he's the best. Like he is the goodest good that ever happened, and he has this line in it which I love, and he's like, Superman's more human than me. He got a job, he fell in love, he got engaged, he had a family, and he's like, that's more than I could ever say for my life. Like, I've just spent my life dressing as Bat and fighting crime. And I love that scene, first of all, just because it embodies like what Batman thinks of Superman, I think, perfectly. Because I think Batman is like, in like whatever media that both of those characters exist, Batman is very aware that he is like kind of a sociopath.
Yeah.
And that Superman is like more human than alien, despite being like this all-powerful god or whatever. And I love that scene, and it's great. And I kind of miss it. Again, the Whedon cut I think is like far and away the worst version, but like that scene hits me kind of hard, and I kind of miss.
Well, Whedon's not a shitty director and doesn't have shitty people. Well, okay, there's a lot of allegations around him, but like as far as making a story come to life, he's not a bad director or anything. Yeah. Surely professional. There's a lot of shit going around by him. Anywho,
a lot.
We won't get into that. Well, maybe we'll later. Yeah, I think that scene where they decide to resurrect Superman is very rushed in the Snyder Cut. I think that's a pinnacle moment of controversy, especially someone who has like Superman kill somebody. Like he didn't take enough time with that scene. He didn't
take enough time with any of Superman's revival death shit.
Nah, he just did it, and it's like, well, then why kill him if you're not gonna like make that a key piece in the next movie?
Frank Miller hard on, dude.
I don't like the black suit. That is one thing I missed.
I wanted to talk about the black suit. The black suit also kind of goes along with another talking point, which is Superman's just kind of a stick in the mud in this movie. Like he's
a stick in the mud in all the movies.
You're right, but he wasn't in the Whedon cut, which is kind of another thing that I miss. He's like too ooey gooey American white bread, like jokey
in the Whedon cut.
In the Whedon cut, like it's too much for like how big the stakes are, but also like the guy smiles. The guy cracks a nice Superman grin, and Henry Cavill, you got such a good grin. And yeah, he was just kind of like more dark and edgy Superman, which is weird because I thought the whole point of Superman reviving from the dead was to give him a little bit more personality, you know what I'm saying? Kind of make him relish life and find the good and like his heart. But I don't know, I guess not, maybe. I thought that was kind of the whole reason for it, but maybe I'm just getting that impression from the Whedon cut because it was very obvious then.
I don't know, man. Superman, I don't love the way they did. Superman doesn't feel like he has that much of like a progressive like story arc in those movies. He just kind of like becomes Superman and like struggles Like they throw enough in there of like about how he struggles being very powerful and stuff, but I never feel like they give Henry Cavill enough. Like they tell you in those movies, they say, "Hey, this is Superman, and he's dealing with this." But all they really give Henry Cavill is like him asking his dad, being like, "Why am I dealing with this?" And then
He doesn't talk a lot in those movies.
Then Kevin Conroy just like takes the show and is like, "This is why I'm an actor," and you know, like Henry Cavill doesn't like sell me on Superman because I don't actually see him.
Well, he doesn't
struggling.
talk. Henry Cavill has very few lines in those movies, which is weird, super weird.
That being said, the Batman vs Superman cut, there's some pretty good lines of him talking about how he's going to deal with Batman. I'll give him that. But like in Man of Steel, it's supposed to be like his solo movie. He's just like kind of like it's almost like that movie feels like a narrator narrating the movie the whole time and being like, "And then Superman flew and he was dealing with being an alien and he flew and then he fought the aliens and then had to deal with being a human but also an alien." And like, if you had a narrator narrating that movie and had nobody else speaking, you would get the same out of that movie. Pretty much.
That I've never heard that before, and that's actually a really good way to put that movie. They don't give Henry Cavill a lot of Superman to deal with, but that movie's a lot of like the world dealing with Superman around Superman.
But you gotta get down to the human element.
You're right. And that's a problem with that movie.
And I'm being like nitty gritty. I actually kind of really like Man of Steel. The action in it gives me tingles of like how like fucking two Supermen just like beating the shit out of each other in midair. It's awesome. Like that movie a lot. So I've never really loved Superman in all of those. Is my point.
That's fair. Those movies have their own problems, and those problems definitely carry over to this one. But it's all Zack Snyder, so he has his version of Superman that he likes, which is fine.
And full disclosure, we're being nitpicky right now.
No, that's
Sam and I would pretty much go turn on that movie on tonight.
I'd fucking watch it. Maybe on like 2x speed, but I got places.
Maybe like half of it. And then the other half, you know.
So hey, here's the thing. This movie's all about the heroes. Fuck the heroes. Nobody likes a good guy. Fucking. Fucking. Let's talk about the bad guys, dude. And how Steppenwolf looks so much better than he used to.
Steppenwolf looks cool.
Honestly, let's just talk about like. Sorry to interrupt, but let's just talk about like all of like the Apocalyptin, Darkseid, Grainy Goodness, the whole like weird melty statue, communicator.
Well, Darkseid was a real fucking character. Let's start there.
He was just a character. He was
just a bad guy in the first one, and then the second one, or sorry, the original cut, the second cut, that Snyder Cut, they actually made him. You actually understood where he was coming from.
In the Whedon cut, they literally just say his name once. And for people who don't know who Darkseid is, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
Which is reasonable. Like that, yeah, that makes sense. But Darkseid was like a real like threat in this movie. And he
did
had
the same
FaceTime.
And he just had a reason behind it. Like beforehand, they said he was the general of a bigger bad. And they never really and that was it. And you're like, he's the general of a bigger bad of these aliens. But they really only show you that he's the big bad. And he's just kind of weak sauce. He's not kind of weak sauce. He is just fucking lame weak sauce.
Steppenwolf fucking sucks.
And this new one, they actually showed him conversing with the big bad. And he's having back and forths, and he's in exile. And the big bad is like, you're never going to earn your place. And he's like, I'm going to earn my place.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm back.
10,000 fucking more worlds. He had such a hard time making Earth.
Couldn't get one.
The man says to get 9,999 more worlds. Good luck. But
he started in a real bad place.
But that brings up my point where he had a chance to redeem himself fully because the Earth had the anti-life equation, which is my other point of why this movie kind of fucking blows. How did Darkseid, this like evil emperor, genius, tactician, soldier, murderer, crazy, evil, dark god, the end of all things, he is nigh, he is the end, he is Darkseid. How did you just forget where that shit was? Like, it said that.
Well, they never
first of all,
found it.
that flash. No. That flashback sequence where he's like fighting the gods in the Amazon, which is rad, by the way. Green Lantern, whatever that dude's name, like Nolan Gar or whatever. No, they said he was there for the anti-life equation, and he just forgot. Yeah, that's why he went there.
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
They said he was looking for it. He didn't find it though.
He knew it was there.
No, he didn't.
I'm
no,
pretty sure they said it was there.
They said he was looking for it, and he's conquering worlds, and he goes there, and he gets defeated, and is like, fuck Earth. I ain't fucking with Earth, and he leaves. But then when Steppenwolf comes back, Steppenwolf is like, hey, you remember Earth? And Darkseid's like, yeah, fuck that place. And he's like, yeah, but actually, the anti-life equation is here, which is Darkseid's ultimate goal.
I think in the movie it sounded much more like they just forgot where it was.
No,
that was super the impression that I got.
Well, he might have been the impression you got.
Either way, Wonder Woman slapped Ares' ass, like, across the sidewalk. Ares, like, fucked Darkseid up. Darkseid's kind of a bitch.
Well, hang on. Darkseid's kind of a bitch in that scene. He, like, goes to conquer, like, Earth, and you'd expect it to be, like, a year-long battle of, like, all this shit. It's one battle in an open
Ares just, like,
field,
slaps him with an axe.
And they fucking wreck him.
Basically dead.
And they hit Darkseid once, and then he's being dragged off, like, ah! I'm fucking hurt! Oh! And it gets the scene across, because they're, like, trying to play this narrative.
But he looks like a bitch, man.
But it doesn't play. It just plays as, like, he came down, and he's like, ow! Ow, I got hurt. I'm the bad guy. And then they take it, whisk me away, my parademons, you know? And he's just gone. And then you're like, ah, we did it. It was one battle. We lost like 20 men. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Although I do, another thing I want to talk about, I do like the inclusion of all of, like, the past stuff explaining, like, the conflict between Darkseid and, like, the Amazons in the past. Like that ruin scene where Wonder Woman, like, walks through that, like, old decrepit, like, antechamber that has, like, all of the cave paintings and stuff in it.
The Darkseid.
That was kind of super useful for exposition. Also way too long, though. Like, the whole shit with, like, Artemis's arrow and how, like, Hippolyta takes, like, 35 minutes and she's like, this is the arrow. I better not fuck this up. And she's like, drawing it back. She stops. And it's slow-mo and she stops and, like, the Amazons are, like, singing or some shit in the background. So, speaking of singing, that's another thing. The fucking Aquaman singing scene. Oh.
Just cut all of it down.
Anyways. And then the slow-mo arrow that crosses, like, continents, and it lands, and you see the beautiful fire creep out. And then there's, like, a 30-minute news story on, like, hey, this fire's burning. Where the fuck did it come from? And you're like, I don't care. And just get fucking Wonder Woman to the temple. It's easy.
Yeah, but it related to the Amazons attacking and then them actually warning her. It makes it feel like a full world and stuff. So I was actually okay with that. Maybe some of the shots could have been clipped and cut and stuff. I don't agree with that. Also, apparently Wonder Woman's mom's accent changes between Justice League and Wonder Woman 1. I did not know that. I heard that on a different podcast. So I think that's kind of funny.
Mira's accent changes. She's British in the Snyder Cut. She doesn't have an accent in the Whedon... No. She doesn't she doesn't have an accent in the Whedon cut, and then in Aquaman she has no accent. So the Snyder Cut cannot be canon unless Mira's doing some fucking British shit in that movie for no reason.
It's just being a wanker, dude.
I guess so.
Well, it is.
But let's talk
what it is.
Tommy.
Do you think Americans give characters British accents to feel foreign? To feel like you're kind of similar to me, but you're not?
Like, we give characters
as
British accents
in white
all the
people
time.
to white people.
No, you're saying do British people give characters American accents?
No, do white American directors give white characters, like Atlanteans, if they're white, British accents to feel foreign?
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be white. They can be black too.
They could be anything, but they're still British.
If the Atlanteans are all black, I'm saying they're giving them British accents to feel foreign.
Mm-hmm. What, you think a fucking Atlantean's gonna stroll out of the sea talking like he's coming from Yonkers?
But British people don't do British... If British people...
They've been around longer!
Would British people do the same? Or would they, like, jump
ship? I don't know!
Like, or we'll give them German accents. That feels foreign.
Yeah,
and the Germans, like, we're gonna give them Russian accents.
What was that?
German, dude.
I don't know, man. I think we care more than most other places. I think a British, like, director would film a movie and it's like an alien coming down. It's like, yeah, that dude's just British. So he wouldn't give that guy like an American accent.
This is weird.
All right, Tommy. I'm talking a lot about the heroes and the villains. Fuck both of them. Let's talk about the goddamn wild card, baby. Let's talk about the guy nobody saw coming, except everybody did. Because he was on a lot of promo material before the movie. Let's talk about a boy, Martian Manhunters.
1, why? 2, why? 3, you didn't need it. And why?
Martian Manhunter was... I think it's rad seeing Martian Manhunter in a movie for the first time. But also, like...
But they gotta tease him at the end. If it was just in that ending scene, or if they just showed the guy that's from Man of Steel that turned into Martian Manhunter and been like, we gotta strap up. And he fucking like changes and shit. And then he gets a British accent because he's an alien. I could have done with that. But like, the whole scene with Lois...
Talk about creepy, dude.
Mom, and then the mom ends up being... Superman's mom ends up being Martian Manhunter talking to her, and he's being like, "We're getting the team together, but I'm not gonna fight with them. But we're getting the team together."
Yeah,
like, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's also like sense. I hate it.
He had such like an intimate like conversation about like loss and grieving and love with Lois Lane, who he's never met, disguised as a lady he's also never met, and it's super creepy.
It's weird.
It's weird. Martian Manhunter didn't need to be in that movie. It's cool seeing him.
They could have done something like that, but in a different way. Like, if like Batman had already known and it's been like, you would have convinced Lois. Martian Man is like, I'll fucking do it. But then let's bring him in. You might as well introduce him in the movie. And
might as well help them fight at the end.
Yeah, I hated it, but I fucking think Martian Manhunter is rad. So. Martian
Manhunter is like the most... He's like...
I actually won't give it a pass. I was going to give it a pass. I'm not going to give it a pass. It was bad. It was just bad. It's shoehorned in. It doesn't need to be there.
Martian Manhunter is the most underrated member of the Justice League. Absolutely.
Kind of in recent times.
He's like one of the main dudes. He's one of the originals. Anyways, doesn't matter. He sucked in that movie.
Yeah.
I like the dude, though. I like the dude who plays him.
Yeah, no.
I would like to see him come back as Martian Manhunter.
We'll go into that later. I'll talk about that later, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things, going back to the Flash, one of the things I did like about him is he kind of got like the big hero moment at the end.
Do you think? See, that is a cool scene, but I feel like they needed to decide on a character to have a big hero moment.
They did. It was Flash.
I think the way the movie, no. I think Cyborg should have been that character.
Superman also had a big hero movement.
Superman needs to come back and be awesome in that movie. But it's weird. You have two characters. Well, you have three characters, but Aquaman's not really fulfilling that role. But like, so you end up coming down to two characters, and it's either Flash or Cyborg. And they're kind of like the younger rookies, and they're supposed to like come in and then have this hero moment at the end to like help save everything. And I feel like they need to decide on one of those characters. And I think at the beginning it's Cyborg. I think at the end it's Flash.
Yes.
And I guess I could be wrong in that. But it feels weird.
I don't know if...
I mean, I guess they were all having their hero moments. Flash just gets one time to shine right at the end. But, like, from a character standpoint, don't you think that needs to fall on one of the characters' shoulders?
Yeah, like, I mean, even in these, like, big team-up movies, there kind of does have to be, like, a central character. And they kind of set Cyborg up to be that character a little bit more. Yeah. But also, like, Flash, he didn't do a lot of other cool things in the... That's kind of not true, but also, like, Flash kind of needed a big moment. And I like how they gave it to him. The Speed Force shit was kind of weird. They didn't... You and I know what the Speed Force is, and you and I kind of know what that deals with. The only thing they say in the movie is like when he approaches the speed of light, time gets weird. That's all they say about it. And then it's like, then they have like a time travel, like go back in time a little bit scene before the heroes lose, and then Flash kind of like saves everything. Mm-hmm. That felt kind of out of nowhere. They kind of set it up, but like really not really.
Yeah.
And they didn't explain it well enough, and I was watching it, I was like, this would be weird as fuck if I didn't know what I was watching.
It needs, like, they needed for like they needed a Flash movie before that they teased that he could do time shit, and then when you get to that big blowout moment, it feels worth it. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's hard coming at this knowing what the comic book characters are, mm-hmm. and watching it for what it is, it would be interesting to see that movie not really knowing, and then watching it and being like, well, I guess he can fucking move time. I
can tell you right now, I would have been confused as shit.
It probably doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't. Because again, we know what we're looking at. We know that that's the Speed Force and he's time traveling. But like
well,
watching is like he's just like running through space, and it's like, what the fuck? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't explain it enough to like justify it. No. I don't think. But I did think it was cool that I thought it was pretty got something to do.
All in all, like I'm being nitpicky. I kind of think character-wise it maybe belongs to Cyborg.
I think so too.
But I'm a little rusty because we'd seen this like first weekend when it came out, and I haven't seen it since, so it's a little not fresh in the mind. But
yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
It's cool. We're being real nitpicky.
We are, but like again, like overall, it's cool to see that shit. Like everything. Here's the thing: everything in this movie is like cool to see because it's the first time we're seeing a lot of this stuff in like a big screen movie blockbuster setting. We can see Flash under the Speed Force. That's cool. You can see Martian Manhunter. That's cool. But speaking of not very cool, the last talking point that I have, I don't know if we want to cut it here. I don't even know how long we've been going, but the last talking point I have is also conveniently the last part of the movie, which is the nightmare sequence. In Batman v Superman, we got a weird taste of this kind of apocalyptic future where Batman's wearing a trench coat and he's just murdering people, just mowing fuckers down. Mm-hmm. And this is an alternate future where like Darkseid has won and taken over. And I guess in interviews, Zack Snyder confirmed that his like overall trilogy plan for the Justice League which was supposed to be a trilogy. Darkseid was gonna win in movie 2, and this was kind of like a sneak peek into what Justice League 2 was gonna be, which is like Batman and friends roaming around in the desert trying to save the day after like everyone important is dead.
Yeah.
And where did he go to get this idea, Tommy? He went to Jared.
Because it's Jared Leto?
No. Yes. I don't like Jared Leto's Joker. Here's the thing. Suicide Squad, say what you will about it. It's bad. Jared Leto came into this movie and had a chance to like be more Joker. First of all, his design was shit. His design was garbage.
I mean, he didn't have the tattoos.
He didn't have the tattoos, which is great. But like, he had like blood all over his face. He looked like a cannibal. Like he looked like a ghost cannibal with long Jared Leto. Cut his fucking hair. I'm sorry. Like Joker doesn't look good with long hair. Also, I did like how he had like the collection of like police badges on him, which is like probably all the cops that he's killed, which is kind of a cool Joker thing. But also, decide on a voice, Jared Leto. You had like 6 voices for the guy. Did you not notice that?
I was exhausted.
He had like fun clown voice, and he was like, "Oh, Batman." He couldn't decide, which is like, here's the thing.
He had to come home. He had to come. He's a method actor, and he just had to come in and be Joker. That was probably really hard for him.
It probably was, but like,
he didn't have 8 voices, dude.
I thought it was real cartoony in like the worst possible way. Here's the thing, Jared Leto, great actor. You're a great actor, Jared, but like, tweak it a little bit, you know? It's the Joker. People care.
Refine it a little bit. You need to really properly get into it.
To be fair, even like the 5 minutes of screen time that he got in this movie was not enough. Like that guy just hasn't had enough time to be the Joker.
Nah, I agree.
Anyways, Deathstroke's cool. They gave him a weird Halo emblem on his sword for no reason.
Halo?
Did you see that?
No.
He has a logo on his sword that's like the League of Assassins logo. But you know, I'm gonna pull it up.
You're gonna pull it up?
It's one of the... You know how in Halo you
like
can
the
like...
game? Like the video game?
Yeah, you can customize your emblem.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Does it look like a Halo emblem?
It's this guy. Do you know that one? Oh. It's like called Runes or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just straight up like stole it.
Well, that's cool. I mean, not.
This is it. And it's just like...
It's the same!
It's the same thing, and it's on his fucking sword.
No way.
It's right there.
Oh, it's a little different on the sword, but it's pretty much the same.
It's the same thing!
Oh, yeah.
There it is! Why is he gray?
Well,
also, he didn't wear the mask!
That's fucking weird. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's real dumb.
That's real weird. That's a deep cut.
Yeah. There was a bunch of news stories about that. There was a guy on Twitter who designed that logo for Bungie, and he was like, so I guess like DC just like stole my art. Seemed chill about it, but he was also like, what happened? Anyways, yeah, that whole nightmare sequence is weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be there either.
I was way more cool with it in being in Justice League than I was it being in Batman vs Superman.
It just feels weird, but like they don't explain how we get there enough. It's just kind of like a cool Elseworlds thing.
Yeah, I mean that shit needs to just be like not. That just shit needs to just be at the end credit scene of a movie.
Yeah,
and just have it be like shit's gonna go down and shit.
Yeah. Also, a future where Kilowog is dead is no movie I want to see.
Yeah, and I think like that belongs both those movies at the end of those movies.
Yeah,
like if Batman vs Superman and they show like this dream sequence, and it's actually like action packed, and it's just like this 10-minute scene that you threw at the after credits, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense, but it will. And then you throw that one at the end of Justice League, and you're like, this kind of makes a little bit more sense, but it will make more sense. And then you make Justice League 2, and it's like. That's the kind of, I mean, for me structurally, because it just feels shoehorned in, not. That's where you throw that shit in.
Yeah. The whole nightmare. It would have been cool to see like a movie in that world. I got nothing against the world,
that's where we're gonna segue. For all Justice League's faults and for all its pros, I want to see more, man. I want to see. Fuck it, dude. And let's be clear, Justice League doesn't play around with this is the last one you're ever going to see. It sets it up to be like there very much is more story after this.
Well, again, it's Zack Snyder's like full vision, and he expected to get 2 more movies after this.
So
maybe
he
3.
left it like that, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like you did some weird shit. You did some awesome shit. I want fucking more, dude.
I don't know if I need more. I think it would be cool if we got more.
Well, yeah.
Just for closure's sake. But also, like, I'm ready to move past DC's shit show of a universe. Like...
Yeah, I mean, but...
Wonder Woman 2 really sealed it for me. I was just like, they need to figure some shit out. And they're trying to, but... Edward,
Wonder
save us! Twilight, come on!
Oh, but that's it's DC isn't continuity chained like Marvel is.
I know,
They're
but
just
like
making movies in that universe. Like Wonder Woman 2 is supposedly not canon to Justice League anymore.
Not apparently.
So it is what it is, and I would like to see more.
I just want more good movies,
say no.
But
I will not say no.
I would be cool with a Justice League reboot.
Well, yeah, I mean, preferably you get the MCU's version of Justice League, but you're not gonna get that.
We're not gonna get that. I just want like a good Justice League movie. You know,
I think the Zack Snyder's movie is a good Justice League movie.
I think it's a fine Justice League movie, but because it's too damn long.
It's too damn long. It's too much extra shit.
Also, Zack Snyder has a certain style.
I think it's awesome.
That it's so grim, dude. Like,
it has a little grimness to it.
Justice
League, stylistically, it looks rad.
You look at like a comic panel of the Justice League like lined up. They're like bright. They're colorful. Some of them are smiling. They're friends. Bring a little levity, you know. I'm not saying you have to like dump the Marvel formula on it and just make it all quips and color and CG. Like, just make it comic booky. Don't make it like existential, poetic. Like,
no, but that's what he's going for. And hell yeah, if he's going to go for it, let him go all the way in. That's the one thing we can learn from the Snyder Cut. Let him do his thing, because if he's not doing his thing, then you're stopping him from doing his thing, and nothing makes sense.
You're right. I appreciate the fact that
it's a darker, grittier, edgier styled Justice League. And we should take it for what it is and let it be rad in that area. When you start throwing this comic booky shit, you get the fucking theatrical cut. And it's garbage.
Well, that was a smorgasbord Frankenstein mess. I'm just saying that Zack Snyder very much has like a style of his own, and I appreciate that style, and I do like that style. If we're getting a new Justice League, I want a different tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you might as well. It'd be kind of interesting if our paths in this movie branched into its own Justice League.
There's set photos of people in that movie, like citizens wearing Wonder Woman and Superman costumes. So
maybe they'll try something else with it. Maybe they could leave Zack's lie or let him go ham and then establish other characters. And then by the time Zack Snyder's ends, they branch out into something different. Or who knows what they'll do. But I mean, when in doubt, we're getting more fucking superhero movies, and I'm down with that.
I just want Gotham Knights to come out, man.
I didn't expect us to go an hour for Snyderverse. I thought we were going to have to talk about the MCU shit, but we'll have to save that for fucking next time.
Oh, I forgot we were going to do that today.
Yeah, that's okay, because we've been going about an hour, and they can always tune in next time, those guys over there on the other end. So when in doubt, or in conclusion, we like the Snyder Cut. We were very, very pleased, all things considered, because my expectations were pretty low.
I'll admit,
you thought it was going to be garbage.
I thought it was going to be hot trash,
and it was not. It was exceptionally better than hot trash.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was a well-structured movie that was too damn long.
Yeah, but also nothing was cut. So
nothing was cut
except
for the Snyder Cut. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
That was shit. You want to close on that?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Is For Fun podcast. We're closing on that, you bitch. We hope you should honestly, as an audience, you should check it out if you have any interest in the superheroes and stuff. Watch Snyder's version. If you just want to watch it for what it is. If you like to compare, you can kind of watch both. It's kind of interesting to do. Sit down for a few hours, for a long time, and watch them. But let Zack Snyder just go ham. If HBO pays, they'll make their money back, I think.
I'd like to see some closure in that universe.
Yeah, so
it'd be cool.
That's it, man. Tune in next week, maybe, hopefully.
Who have you been?
I was Tommy. You're right.
I'm Sam. This has been the Is For Fun podcast. Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Where's Fabio? Oh no! All right. We have so many sliders left.
I know. I'm so full.
I'm so full.
Fucking stop.
Take me to your leader.
Oh shit! Oh my god! You made it to the end of the Is For Fun podcast, you son of a bitch! Thank you, and congratulations for making it to the end of another lovely time with Sam, Tom, and Fabio. If you want to check out more of us, we are on YouTube, got all sorts of funny shit there. If you want more funny shit, some weird shit too, we need some sexy shit. Check us out on social media if you don't want to look at our faces, because you're fucking sick of looking at us. I get it, I'm sick of looking at these bozos every single day. Check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you get your audio content. Thank you for watching the Is For Fun podcast. We'll see you next time. God damn it.